So it's the beer video, and from what I understand, we always put a cool out section, in the video from somewhere. But from what I understand, from Helen's text, I think we're just gonna get into it. 'Cause
We can get to the zone later, but yeah, I mean, all I'll say for now is yes, indeed, Lennon was correct. There are weeks where decades happen.
yeah, 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 yeah. And we've had two of those. Oh my God, this has been the longest 2 weeks of all time. And it's just enjoy the shit that you wanted so badly. Just I hope you really fucking enjoy this. I hope you're really happy. By the way, Christy Gnome looks like a fucking idiot. Her and her dumb little cowboy hat, cosplaying as whatever the fuck. What an asshole. And, th this whole thing about like, we need to hold Canada responsible for their role in smuggling fentanyl into this country. Do you know how much fentanyl was smuggled into the United States from Canada last year at the border? At least it was that they secured at the border. You know how much fentanyl from Canada was secured at the border?
Not a lot, I imagine.
43 pounds all year. And
Yeah,
that
I
is
imagine like what's coming into our country anyway from anywhere foreign is coming from Mexico.
right. It's like 21,000 pounds, I think, came from Mexico.
And, like, if we're gonna seriously address the opiate crisis, like, maybe we need to talk about how a lot of opiate addiction started with prescription painkillers. And, like,
Why would we do that? Because then the drug companies won't get their money.
also, a lot of fentanyl that's smuggled into the States is smuggled by US citizens.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of it is. Yeah, yeah.
and, I think maybe what we really need to talk about is kind of yeah, your girl read Dope Sick last year. Maybe we can talk about how it's like sick that pharma companies like give incentives to doctors to prescribe certain medications.
Yep.
Um, I grew up in rural Maine in the early 2000s. That is where the like one of the places where the opiate epidemic started.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, people called OxyContin hillbilly heroin.
Mm,
Like
mm.
everyone knew what that was about. So, you know, I think this is a natural consequence of having a for-profit healthcare system
Sure
of
is.
like, incentivizing doctors to chase after financial incentives more than to care for patients. So, like, we could talk about that, or we could talk about how, evil Mexicans and Chinese are.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, yeah.
Oh, and like, I've been follow. Actually, I'm gonna shut up. We will get to the cool stuff later.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've got a Hammerheart.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's a Life's smoked American lager. I'm not a big lager fan, so this is why I chose it. 5.5% ABV, which is like pretty weak for Hammerheart. Um, I don't
Something
care.
that's not going to erase your brain if you drink the whole thing.
Unfortunately, I would like my brain erased, please.
Oh God, seriously. My marijuana usage has increased quite a bit because it's necessary.
It is, yes.
I like to not wake up with chest pains.
Got medium-sized head, smoke flavor, smell.
Scented?
Ah, they've done it again, guys.
I was just like, is this going to be the first one that Helen is not crazy about? Nope.
No, they can't do any wrong by me. God, at some point they're gonna do like I don't know, like a durian pilsner and like finally piss me off, but like that hasn't happened yet. Um,
They'll do a pickle beer and piss me off, but it'll be smoked and I'll end up liking it.
yeah, you just wait and see what I have in store for next week, bud.
Oh man, you're already thinking ahead. I I
I
went
plan for the next month.
I
So
went and bought a beer yesterday, and just as I was coming upstairs, I looked at it and I was like, I've done this one before. So I'm drinking a warm beer today
oh yeah.
because I didn't have one ready.
Yeah. So now it's got the light clean lager flavor and kind of a very sometimes with smoked beers you can tell I think when they just like dump a ton of artificial smoke flavor in there.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the case here, but it definitely doesn't taste like that.
yeah,
If I know Hammerheart the way I think I do, like they definitely smoked something by hand. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, it's a good, like, it's not overwhelmingly punchy smoke flavor. It's like medium and it complements kind of the light, refreshing taste of the lager really well. Yeah, I just want them to fuck up once, but they
Come on,
can't. They
Austin.
can't.
One fuck up. I would wonder if, oh no, you know what? Never mind. I had a theory. So, have they been making this beer for a while, or is this a new one?
Yeah, I think they have definitely done this one before.
Okay.
Um, I don't know when the last time was. I definitely had it in their tap room. I can say that much.
Yeah, I was saying, it's probably, I'm speaking with zero knowledge on this, but I would assume like if you have a tap room, probably having a lager is a good idea because probably not everybody who comes to your place is an experienced or adventurous drinker. So it
Yeah.
probably does help to have something they can recognize.
Yeah, definitely. That was the case when they had their old tap room, which was in Lino Lakes, which is a far suburb of Minneapolis, I think is accurate to say. Um, but yeah, like prior to Hammer, like I looked them up when Hammerheart like announced they were moving there, and the only thing they'd been in the news for really was like announcing their official language with English. So I guess that's the audience you're catering to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
But hey, you know?
yeah. Well, talk about your shirt because I mean it's kind of related.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a Panopticon shirt. Panopticon is Austin One, who also runs Hammerheart with his brother, I think.
Yeah.
It's for the Rhyme of Memory, which I think
I
is the newest one. Um, yeah, I don't know. Panopticon is one of those those things where, again, like with Hammerheart, it's like, boy, just fuck up once.
yeah. I was telling Helen before we got onto this that I almost wore my Panopticon long sleeve. Um, and I think I have the same one, so it would have been ridiculous. But instead, I'm wearing a Rush shirt that has the cover art to Signals. Signals is maybe my favorite Rush album. I know that's controversial because it's from their synth era, and I know there's a lot of people that aren't crazy about that era, but I love that record. But I'm also wearing the Rush shirt just, as another mea culpa to our Canadian friends who, fuck, we didn't want this. Most of
Yeah.
the country doesn't want this.
I
It's,
almost wore my home front shirt, and I just remembered they were a Canadian band as well.
yeah.
So, yeah, sorry about that. I guess. It's funny actually, like I believe there's a lot of towns in northern Minnesota where they get like um power from Canada basically. So
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
in the and they mostly voted Trump, so I think they're in the fuck round or the find out phase of fuck
Yeah.
round to find out.
Yeah.
Um it is funny watching Susan Collins react to this because, she's my I'm from Maine, if people didn't know. I will not do the accent. Fuck off. Um, but she's my home state Congress critter, and she has proven like shockingly resilient through um she's only been seriously challenged, I think, since like Trump came in office when she's just faffed around expressing like vague concern and not done anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, she's like basically admitted that like a lot of northern Maine is very, very dependent on trade with Canada. So they will be absolutely fucked when these tariffs come through.
Yep. I don't expect her to change her voting right. I think she's a fucking coward. It's like, yeah, she's always the one who's gonna like feign concern. And like, I know she didn't vote for Hegseth, but considering they knew they had the fucking votes, I don't even count that as like pushing back. It's like she knew that she could vote no and it wasn't gonna do anything. So I don't give her credit.
Yeah, I think her and Olympia Snow, who retired a while ago, were the two like maverick Republicans from Maine.
Yeah.
Like Maine has a reputation as a Democratic state because most of our governors have been,
Hmm.
with the recent exception of Paul LePage, who I think was a real preview for how Trump was going to treat the country.
Great.
Um, but yeah, like I don't know. I mean, she's had some okay votes, I guess, but she's basically like slightly worse than Joe Manchin. And
Yeah. I would love to have pushed
you
Joe
know,
Manchin into a
I don't
room.
feel like people should be like patting her on the back too much just for being not as bad as the rest of these ghouls. Like
Yeah.
maybe it's worth pointing out to some capacity, but we have to understand what this is. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
I don't
Cool.
know.
Yeah.
Just stop expressing concern, you know.
Yeah.
It kind of bums me out that "Oh, you sweet summer child" was the Game of Thrones catchphrase that caught on because the one I keep thinking of as I keep hearing like "Oh, forcefully worded dissent," "Oh, like totally owned epic tweet," blah blah blah. I just keep thinking of the phrase "words are wind."
Yeah. Did you see Chuck Schumer today in the fucking supermarket doing like TikToks about tomato prices? Fuck you, dude.
I'm gonna like fucking hit him with my shoe.
Yeah.
He's beyond useless. Like
Oh
fucking
God.
take him. Take him out behind the shed and like smother him with a pillow and give his fucking job to AOC or someone who understands like how media communications works.
Yeah. 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 The worst possible people are in charge of this party. And like Schumer saying like, well, I can't expect all the Democrats to not vote. Fuck you, it's your job. Get a hold of your party, dickhead.
And like Democratic governors, including our own
Yeah.
Timbo Walz, yeah. I'm not gonna try to make that happen, sorry. And fucking Pritzker and what's her nuts? The fucking pretty lady from Michigan. Big wretch.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they apparently had a
Brain has
meeting with
shut
them
off.
and they were like, this situation's really serious. Like you need to do more than fucking tweet about egg prices. Like you need to throw a spanner in the works. You need to you need to help us out.
You need to
'Cause,
get on television and start fucking talking to people about what this is. I mean,
Uh,
the
yeah,
the whole complaint about the Democratic Party in this last election, other than the Palestine issue, was that they didn't connect with voters and they didn't connect with working class voters. So start doing that because that's why you lost. And look at what you lost to. And look where we are.
yeah,
Don't you got to change the
it's
shit you're doing.
embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing, you know,
Yeah.
like we lost to this. It kind of reminds me of like seeing the smacking that Labor's gonna get inevitably
Yeah.
when you know, the UK general happens. So just because Keir Starmer's just so useless,
Hmm.
I, I'm sorry for UK friends. We're definitely doing worse. Don't yell at me. But like, I just feel bad for you guys because like you at least have like the bones of a social safety net, and yet you have these people that insist on being as useless as the Dems here. And like, oh God, it's truly incredible. I don't know. I need to start reading about Norwegian politics more, but like apparently their conservatives are gearing up for a comeback too. That apparently is going to happen in Canada. Basically, everything sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I've finally entered the cool zone early, so
yeah, I gotta do my beer. Hold on, let me get through my beer. So what I'm drinking is it's from Evil Twin Brewing, and the beer is called Captain Marlin, and it's got this guy on the can. Look at that
you
guy.
God, I remember like one of the most stressful nights of my life actually was Matt was very sick.
Oh
Like
my
he
God.
was in the ER
Yeah.
and I just checked in on him and like he was doing okay, but not great.
Yeah.
And I went home and I just ordered delivery Ethiopian food. And I had like a 4 pack of that Even More Jesus pastry stout.
Yes.
So I just got like hammered up Even More Jesus
Yeah.
and just ate food with my hands and like stress cried. And like that was exactly what I needed.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes that's what you need. This is a quadruple IPA.
Just so everyone knows, my husband's currently fine. He pulled through that. So,
Yes, yes. We would probably not be doing a video if
right,
still hanging.
exactly.
This is double dry hopped with Citra Comet Allura hops. 12% alcohol. And I'm drinking out of Return of the Jedi glass, and I'm sorry, you motherfuckers, but this is a woke movie series.
I'm gonna go on a rant about Dragon Age after you finish that, I
Oh,
think.
all right. Well, I mean, it's a quad IPA. It looks how you'd expect. It's nice and dark, as you can see that nice little, looks like a little storm front right in the middle of that beer. Decent head. As soon as I opened this
What's
can,
Stormfront truly the word you wanted to use there, buddy?
no, sorry, storm cloud. Sorry. Sometimes you forget that really normal words have been taken over by the fucking worst people on the earth. As soon as I cracked open this beer, I smelled the hops. It was crazy. Oh, this smells nice. Okay. Huh. It's so weird. As soon as the beer went into my mouth, the first thought in my brain was, oh my God, this is going to be bitter. But it's not. The initial taste was kind of bitter, but it goes away really fast. My chest is warm. It warmed me up real fast. Um, for it being a quadruple IPA, you're not being strangled with hops. Shockingly enough, I expected this to just be the hoppiest experience of my life, and maybe that won't be good for some people. Maybe if you were like really anticipating talking through a burp, if you're like we're anticipating like a heavy hop taste. I mean, it's not hoppy, but I think I expected to be like wincing whenever I took a sip, and I didn't, and that to me is good. Definitely some pineapple and some what's that fruit? Grapefruit. Grapefruit notes. It's nice. It's the booziness of the beer also is unexpected. Like as soon as I swallowed it, it was like taking a shot of bourbon, like my whole chest warmed up. So normally I would say an IPA would be good for, like warmer weather. But this could be a good winter one, just the way it warms up your body and really nice taste. I mean, Evil Twin's one of those breweries too that like I really don't remember ever being terribly disappointed by Evil Twin. I like most
Yeah,
of what they
I
put
guess
out.
my beefs with Evil Twin, to the extent I have them, were like, I don't know. I had a pastry stout and it was like slightly too sweet for me, but like that was more of a, well, I should have anticipated that.
I just was showing a close up of the cat. Um, yeah, a nice beer. I enjoy this. It's 12%, so like I can't drink three of them. Um,
Well, that was,
you shouldn't drink three of them, but in these times, maybe you should.
why not, right?
Yeah, why not? Maybe you should. Maybe you should just have three 12% beers. Um, on a Sunday night. I'm okay with it. And it helps you cope. I hate to say that, but it does. It's we're drinking to cope.
Yeah. I created a throwaway Twitter account. I refuse to call it X. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's not called that. Hey, look,
Because
look, Elon. I guess you should understand that, sometimes people don't like to be called the things that they were originally labeled, and you seem to have a problem with that. So fuck you, it's Twitter.
I am gonna try to keep this in words that will not get us booted off YouTube. But so I created this account because apparently Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, is posting in real time about what budget line items they're cutting. Um, and basically, I want to find out if my husband still has a job uh, in a week.
Um,
So he works for a nonprofit called Open Arms. Hey, maybe we can put a link in the description. People can donate
yeah, send me
and
the. I mean, I could probably find it, but yeah, let's do that.
send that to you. So what they do is deliver meals to housebound people with serious illnesses
Yeah.
in the Twin Cities metro. And I assume they're probably going to be on this DEI list because like they make a point to because we have a lot of immigrants here in Twin Cities, so they make sure to like provide kind of culturally specific meals. Like if it's like a elderly Somali person, they're gonna provide East African food, or I'm
Yeah.
gonna provide like Southeast Asian food.
So that's
Like,
interesting. So they are. So
yeah,
they.
they're trying to provide like food for people who are recovering from illness that like they know and they like, and
They're trying to
that
match kind of like their native cuisine.
right.
Okay.
So, because like if someone's like sick and healing, like they are gonna recover best when they have food that like they're familiar with, right?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like how I don't know, like how when I had fucking stomach flu, all I could keep down was like plain noodles with butter, right? That is my Caucasian ethnic cuisine, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I can just imagine some like fucking 20-year-old intern like looking at the line item for them on the list and being like, oh, fucking woke trash. And like everyone who ever like told me Elon Musk was like a fucking genius or whatever for like making rockets, um, like you're fucking stupid. And
Yeah.
I hate you. I hate you so much. This fucking 50 plus year old man child
Yeah.
is like he also cut a bunch of line items for Lutheran social services that run like old folks homes in the Midwest,
Yeah.
where like they're usually the only game in town as far as old folks homes go. So he's literally like fucking throwing old grannies on the street because like the epic bacon, like saving money, like just I'm biting back the actionable threats, man.
I know. I know. I know. Um, he doesn't belong here. I don't mean the United States. I mean,
Oh, I mean that. I mean that. Like if we're gonna talk about like fucking immigrants that contribute nothing,
mhm,
like fucking Valerie that runs the taqueria, like down the block, she contributes more than him.
mhm,
And going to have her deported,
yep,
even though she's a legal immigrant. Um, and he's done fucking nothing but make ugly ass cars and like buy trademark from other people and like fucking take steroids that make him look like shit and like alienate his children.
yeah.
Fuck is the point of this man?
There is no point of this man. The man wants to be the king of the world. He needs to be the most important boy. And this is his way of going about it. Because if you think he's going to stop at the United States, I mean, he's already meddling in, the German election. You
Oh,
think
right.
you
Yeah.
think he's
And
not
that's
going to
the
go
one
full
place
force
where
through
Matt and I
Europe?
might be able to get citizenship by descent, but
Yeah, it's
now that he's encouraging those AFD fucks to pull the ladder up, I
yeah,
don't
they
know.
are. Yeah, yeah. So, and it's also a good time to remind everybody that Elon Musk didn't make any of this shit. He bought into this shit, all of it. And you'll say like, oh, but he was a founder of Tesla because of a lawsuit. He bought into Tesla. He didn't create it. He bought into it. He was an investor. It's fine. He was an investor. He didn't create it. He didn't create any of this shit. He hasn't made anything. He's bought things. It would be like me
Oh,
saying like I have 1,600 records in my room and saying like, oh, I made those. No, I fucking bought them. And that's all he's done. He's bought shit, and he thinks he can buy anything he wants, and nobody's pushing back on that, including, and again, I'm not gonna not throw the Democrats under the bus. I'm not here to.
Oh, I will,
No,
like
no, I'm
not all of
saying
them, but
I won't
most,
not. Like
right?
they're not helping either. I mean, it's the most obvious time to punch back and to push
Even
back and to get
Elizabeth
fucking real.
Warren was doing the thing where she's like, boy, someone should do something about this. And you know what? I actually like Elizabeth Warren. I know like a lot of my lefty friends like mad at her.
Yeah,
Um, I'm gonna say something potentially controversial. I don't think she tanked her campaign or whatever.
yeah,
I think they had a dumb little spat and I wish they'd fucking figured it out. But like, if you're gonna say she was the sole person to tank that campaign, I don't think you're paying very much attention.
mm,
And I someone who like was 100% in for Bernie in both. Well, okay, not in 2016 because like I didn't believe good things could happen then.
yeah, yeah.
2020, I was pulling hard for him and like
Me too.
people shitting on Warren and like I think Bernie's a great politician. He's very principled, and I appreciate his angry New England vibe as an angry New England person myself.
Yeah,
But he made some pretty fucking questionable hiring decisions, which
yeah,
I kind of understand, but yeah.
yeah. I always kind of wondered if Bernie Sanders wasn't more effective in the long run, on the level he is now. Um, I just, I supported him too. So I mean, don't get me wrong, but there was kind of always that in the back of my head, like, I don't know if it's a job for him.
Uh,
Um,
I did appreciate his contributions to the RFK hearing.
yes, me too.
Yeah, God, get
Yeah,
his ass, Grandpa.
yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah. Um, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's not a good time to be an American. That's it. Like, here's the other thing too is I'm so tired of hearing about. I think I've said this before on here, but the other bit of fucking propaganda that the right does all the time, and it's like, oh, well, Democrats and people on the left hate America. If I fucking hated America, I'd be rooting for this shit. I'd be rooting for
They've
this. I'd be rooting for Trump and Musk to destroy this country. So I don't hate.
been using that line since the Iraq War, and like
Yeah,
it's baby brain bullshit, like
dum-dums buy it. Just the same way that dum-dums buy into like DEI is destroying things. You don't even know what DEI is. And I'll say another thing. And I'm not. This is the only thing I'm going to say about this, just because I think it's amusing. We got our first negative comment on a beer video, where somebody told us
literally.
to keep coping, commies. I want you to leave a remark on this video and fucking describe communism to me.
Wait, who is this person? Oh,
I have
never
no
mind.
idea. It might be a bot. I don't know. But I'm not mad. I laughed when I saw it because I was like, of course. What like absolute lowest hanging the fruit's hanging so low it's rotting type of joke. Like, oh no, they called us communists.
Well,
You
I said,
don't even know
I
what it is.
want you workers from your slumber. Let the tyrants fear your might.
So, yeah. Um, they don't know what communism is. They don't know what
Mhm.
socialism is. They don't know. They have no idea what it is. So,
Well, I'm just glad to see the YouTube crank economy is keeps humming along. I'm glad someone's getting paid.
yeah, not us, but at least somebody is. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just challenge you to explain what it is to me because um I don't think you know. And that's fine because so many of the things that come out of their mouths, you can tell right away they don't know what they're talking about. Like DEI caused a couple of plane crashes. Well,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, obviously. Not the
Yeah, it's policies that have been in place since Trump was president last time. So nothing happened last time. He didn't do anything last time. And funny, but Joe Biden was president for, fuck Joe Biden too. Like, I'm not defending Joe Biden, but Joe Biden was president for 4 years and we didn't seem to have these plane crashes. And look, I'm not, it's another thing too. Like, I don't
well,
know that,
yeah,
I
far
don't,
be it for me to defend Joseph Brandon here, but
yeah. I don't know that what Trump did cause these issues. I don't know that, but you know, let's look at what he did and the chaos that was going on in the control centers that night, and the fact that they fired the FAA director because Elon Musk was mad at him,
Oh yeah,
and then you get this.
buck ass explosion merchant, I think, is the term I've heard used. Sauron,
Come on,
you know
Sauron,
I
get in here and let's finish this video on a positive note, Sauron.
second.
All right, we're going to get Sauron. Anyway, it's a tough time to be around me. I know that. I know not an easy person to be around right now because it's hard to give a shit and to live and to look around to see the things that are going on and try to make yourself feel better or ignore it. It's just not a thing you can do. There he is. What's up, baby? What's up, Sauron? That's right. That's a good man right there. Sauron the cat.
Who's my boy?
That's right. Well, I don't know. We'll be here next week. We'll figure something out because next week's the Super Bowl. And usually we record these on Sundays. We can still do it on Sunday. I don't care about the Super Bowl that much.
Playing.
What's that?
Who's playing? I just know it's not the Vikings.
Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs, because I think the Kansas City Chiefs are contractually obliged to be in it every year now.
So it's the Well, There's Your Problem podcast preferred team versus Taylor Swift's boyfriend's team.
Correct.
Who
Yes.
do I even pick, right?
I am probably going to root for the Eagles because
Go
uh,
Birds.
yeah, Kenny Pickett's their backup. He was the Steelers' starting quarterback for a couple of years, and granted, he left Pittsburgh and was a big bitch about it, but he's a Pitt hero, so I'll pull for him. And Saquon Barkley playing for the Eagles, that dude spent like 8 years with the Giants, and on one of the worst teams in football, and I'd like to see him get a ring. And plus, it's his birthday on that day, so that would be cool to see Saquon get a championship. Plus, the Eagles have a wide receiver that reads books on the sidelines whenever the offense is off the field. So AJ Brown, he seems to be a good dude. So I'm gonna pull for the Eagles, but at the end of the day, I don't give a shit.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. All right, well, we're gonna go. I don't know. Try to stay sane out there. Don't watch too much news. I've been trying not to follow headlines.
And just know when you leave like bitchy comments on our YouTube video, this is who you're being mean to.
Sauron, you want to be mean to that cat? You want to be mean to that cat?
Do you?
Do you? That tells me right there. You want to be mean to Sauron, you got a problem with all of us, and we have knives. All right. Well, Helen, we tried, we failed to be positive. But we had beers.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.